This is Sunday of 7th Pentecost, and I just want to do the reading from Joshua because the wall falls. This is from the 6th chapter of Joshua. On the seventh day they rose early at dawn and marched around the city in the same manner 7 times. It was only on that day that they marched around the city 7 times. And at the 7th time, when the priests had blown the trumpets, Joshua said to the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. The city and all that is in it shall be devoted to the Lord for destruction. Only Rahab, the prostitute, and all who are with her in her house shall live, because she hid the messengers we sent. As for you, keep away from the things devoted to destruction, so as not to covet and take any of the devoted things that make the camp of Israel an object of destruction, bringing trouble upon it. But all silver and gold and vessels of bronze and iron are sacred to the Lord. They shall go into the treasury of the Lord." So the people shouted, and the trumpets were blown. And as soon as the people heard the sound of the trumpets, they raised a great shout, and the wall fell down flat. So people charged the straight ahead into the city and captured it. Then they devoted to destruction by the edge of the sword all in the city, both men and women, young and old, oxen and sheep and donkeys. Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring the woman out of it and all who belong to her, as you swore to her." So the young men who had been spies went in and brought Rahab out along with her father, her mother, her brothers, and all who belonged to her. And they brought all her kind out and set them outside the camp of Israel. They burned down the city and everything in it. Only the silver and gold and the vessels of bronze and iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. But Rahab the prostitute and her family and all who belonged to her Joshua spared. Her family has lived in Israel ever since, for she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. Joshua then pronounced his oath, saying, "Cursed before the Lord be anyone who tries to build this city, this Jericho. At this cost of his firstborn he shall lay its foundation, and at the cost of his youngest he shall set up its gates." So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was in all the land. Here ends the reading. On Sundays, the readings follow the Hebrew scripture, and so that's why I read it, because it's the end of the story of the Joshua fitting the battle of Jericho. Now, notice at the end of the story it says it should not be rebuilt. However, the archaeologists say that Jericho was rebuilt about 4 times after the time of Joshua. So, and several times before the particular wall that must have fallen at the time of Joshua. Anyway, well, I read that so that you could continue the story for the week. Have a good day.